sort of integrate American sports into the Premier League. We did a draft video, we did a swap deal, trade deals. Now we're going to see what would happen if there is a playoff similar to how the NBA and other American sports do it. So the way this is going to work is we're going to simulate a regular season essentially, and the bottom 13 teams are not going to be eliminated. They're going to go to a play-in. Now, if you're not really familiar with American sports, then that might be a little bit confusing. I think the best way for me to explain it is essentially when it happens game by game, I'll explain what each game means. But yeah, we're just going to simulate the regular season now and see how we get on. It doesn't necessarily mean much, it just determines their rankings for the playoffs. So let's have a look. This is how the season ended. Sheffield United in bottom place, Brighton, Brentford, Forest, Burnley, Luton, Fulham and Wolves. All these teams are going to have to earn their spot in the playoffs. They have made the play-in. They're not eliminated yet, but they are in the play-in. Then we have Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Man United, who have all made the playoffs. I should also note, I've had to structure it a little bit different because there's obviously no East or West Conference in the Premier League. And in Man City were the number 1 seed with Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs there. But let's get into the play-in then. So 19th place Brighton and 20th place Sheffield are now going to play in a one-off game to decide in what is called the elimination game who is going to get eliminated. The loser will be out and is not making the playoffs. As you can see, Brighton took the lead. Danny Welbeck gave them the goal, but Sheffield hit back late on to make it 1-1 and send the game to extra time, where Brighton's James Milner gave them the lead. But they fought back yet again, Sheffield United sending it to a penalty shootout after this, and it was Brighton who prevailed, and that means Sheffield United are the first team to be knocked out of the playoffs. Now, the next elimination game is the same format. It's 17th versus 18th. Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. The loser is knocked out. And of course, the home advantage, as you will see in all of these, go to the team who finished higher in the regular season. But despite Forest finishing higher, Brentford were the ones who cruised past them really with a 2-0 victory. We then go into the second chance game, which is slightly different. Essentially, 13th will play 16th, and the winner will go straight into the playoffs. The loser will still have a chance. Now, I forgot to record the goal, but as you can see, Burnley did take the lead, but Wolves fought back to make it 1-1, and then went to a penalty shootout, which again I unfortunately forgot to record. But Wolves, as you can see, won it, so Wolves are into the playoffs. Burnley not eliminated yet, though we'll get into that. And the other second chance game was between Fulham in 14th and the 15th ranked Luton Town. Same format, the winner goes straight into the playoffs, and well, the winners in this game fairly comfortably were Fulham, so Fulham are going into the playoffs. Now, to determine the next spot, the losers, Luton, will now go up against the winners of the elimination game. So it's Luton versus Brighton. The winner goes into the playoffs. The loser is eliminated. And Luton took a lead there through Belly Roddick. It was the only goal of the game, and Luton, rather surprisingly, have made it to the playoffs. Brighton are knocked out. Same format here. This is the final spot. Burnley or Brentford. The winner goes into the playoffs, and the loser is knocked out. Burnley took the lead with an absolute banger, and well, Burnley were the ones who then doubled the lead from a corner, sending them to the playoffs. Wolves and Brentford were knocked out, meaning that, surprisingly, it worked out pretty simple. 13th place Wolves, 14th place Fulham, 15th place Luton, and 16th place Burnley have all made the playoffs through the play-in, while Forest, Brentford, Brighton, and Sheffield are knocked out. But now we can go ahead and look at the bracket. Here it is. This is the tournament bracket for the playoffs. It's going to be a best of 7 series, every single game all the way up to the final. And yeah, we've got a lot of games to get through, so hopefully you guys do enjoy, and let's see who comes out on top in this playoff bracket. But let's begin then with the first game. The number 1 seed Manchester City versus 16th place Burnley. As I mentioned earlier, the highest ranked team will have home court advantage. So essentially it's going to work as the highest ranked place get the first 2 games at home, then it's the away teams 2 games at home, and then it's 1 and 1 each, and then on the 7th game it's for home teams. But as you can see, Man City got the job done. They go 1-0 up in the series versus Burnley, no real surprise there. Haaland then in game 2 gives them a 1-0 lead, and that was it. It was a 2-0 victory. They are now 2-0 up, and then away from home Man City put on a clinic 2-0 there. Fantastic performance. Burnley did strike back to make it 2-1, however it wasn't enough, and Man City are 3-0 up now, 1 win away from a sweep, and Erling Haaland go ahead and gives them the goal. A 1-0 victory, so Man City have won 4-0. They are comfortably through into the next round of the bracket. Next up we have Arsenal, the number 2 seed versus number 15th Luton, and Arsenal in the first game took a fairly comfortable 2-0 victory. Luton did fight back to get 1 back through Belly Roller, but it wasn't enough, and Arsenal take a 1-0 lead in the series. However, Luton in game 2 stunned the hosts at their ground. That man Belly Roddick got another goal. He has been clutch, and that was the only goal. They won 1-0, and the series is level. Going ahead now, away from home, they did it again, Luton. They were 1-0 down. I forgot to record that, but Belly Roddick scored again. And then, later on, Belly Roddick in extra time scored again. And Luton turned it around and beat Arsenal, and suddenly Luton are now 2-1 up in the series. So Arsenal had work to do, but they did that work indeed in the next game. They got the job done with a very convincing 3-0 victory to level up the series at 2-2. We go back to the Emirates now, where Luton yet again have done it. This time it was Carlton Morris who gave them the 1-0 lead, and Luton suddenly were 3-2 up in the series, 1 win away from knocking out Arsenal in the first round. Arsenal in serious danger here, but they stepped up. However, what a free kick that was, by the way. 1-1, this was an absolute cracker, but they got the goal. Gabriel Jesus came in clutch there. Luton though, look at the spirit, absolutely fantastic performance by them. They pinned them back, sent it to extra time, and then they almost won it at the end, but they didn't, and it went to a penalty shootout. They were just penalties away from knocking out Arsenal in what would be probably the biggest shock of this whole tournament. If they could do it, they took the lead to make it 4-3. Vieira stepped up though. It were in sudden death. Clark missed, and Martinelli stepped up and scored. So Arsenal live to fight another day. They level it up, and we are going to a game 7. It is at the Emirates, the final game. Winner takes all. and Arsenal took the lead here through Martin Odegaard, and unfortunately Luton, that was it. They went out 1-0, but credit to Luton, they took it all the way to a game 7. I don't think many people expected that. I certainly didn't. And they gave Arsenal a real hard time, but Arsenal did prevail and they are through to the next round. Into the quarterfinals they go, but we continue on now with Liverpool. Liverpool v 3rd seed versus 14th seed Fulham. So Liverpool at home at Anfield with a fairly convincing victory in the first game, a lovely 2-0 victory to go 1 up in the series. They then continued that form fantastically there with a lovely goal, and they made it 2-0 yet again. There, a brilliant goal again. In fact, it was actually a 3-0 victory here. A thumping by Liverpool to go 2 up in the series. But Fulham, they fought back. It was a 0-0 and then it went to a penalty shootout. Fulham showed some real heart here, where in fact in the penalty shootout Diego Jota had to score and he missed. So Fulham, despite some poor first 2 games, they managed to get one back, making it 2-1. We then go into game 4 where Liverpool took the lead through Mo Salah, but Fulham fought back and they grabbed a goal, and then late on, though, their hearts were sunk. 93rd minute winner, and Liverpool take a 3-1 victory. Heartbreaking for Fulham, who really needed to win that because they now went to Anfield looking for something, but they were not going to get it. Liverpool, McAllister with a double to make it 4-1 to Liverpool, and that was the game. Series done. Liverpool comfortably into the quarterfinals. Next up we have Spurs for seed 4 versus Wolves 13th seed, and Wolves came out the blocks firing 36 minutes in. They went 2-0 up at Spurs' ground. Spurs did manage to get a goal back, but it was nothing more than a consolation, and Wolves took a lead at Spurs in the game. In the second game, Spurs did bounce back though, with 2 goals there, winning the game 2-0 to level up the series as we now head to Molineux, where Wolves took the lead again 1-0 there, with a fantastic finish by Pablo Sarabia, and that was in fact the only goal of the game, with Wolves now leading the series. In the next game though, Spurs knew they had to get a result, and that's exactly what they did. A 2-0 victory to level up now at 2-2, a very even series. We go back to White Hart Lane, where Mateusz Cunha gave Wolves the lead, and then Sasa Kalajdzic thumped it in, and Wolves, with another victory, make it 3-2, and they are 1 win away now from a victory in this series. And Mateusz Cunha at home gives them the lead. Romero levelled it up though, Maddison did, and then from their own corner Wolves grabbed a winner and they won the series 4-2. A big shock there, 13th seed Wolves stunning the 4th seed Spurs, who are knocked out in round 1. Next up we have Man United, the 5 seed versus the 12th seed in Crystal Palace. United took the lead with a 1-0 victory in game 1. Heading to game 2, United then again with another 1-0 victory, and they were 2-0 up in the series going to Selhurst Park. I must say, this series was not the most entertaining. United just won the game 1-0 yet again for the 3rd time in a row, going 3 up. However, Palace fought back, knowing that they were 1 game away from elimination. They won the other game 1-0, making it 3-1. Palace still with a bit of hope, but that was crushed, and United won it. In the second game, this time they scored more than 1 goal at least. It was a 2-0 victory, so United won 4-1. Very comfortable victory for United. Palace is knocked out, and United, as you can see, set up a very tasty tie versus Man City in the next round. Next up we have Aston Villa versus Bournemouth, and the first game was a 0-0. It went to penalties where it was 3-2. Philip Billing had to score, he missed, and Aston Villa won the first game on penalties, going 1-0 up in the series with the home court advantage. They then, in the second game, had a corner here which they took short. They played it nicely, and they managed to get a goal there through Ezri Konsa and win the game 1-0 to go 2 up in the series. Back at Bournemouth though, they took another lead through Ollie Watkins, and it was a fantastic performance. They won 2-0, in fact 3-0, apologies, and they go 3 up in the series, just 1 win away from a victory. In the next game, knowing they were 1 game away from victory, they fought back and they got a 1-0 victory, and it was a sweep, a big statement there by Aston Villa, a 4-0 victory, and they set up a tie versus Arsenal. Next up is 7th seed Chelsea versus 10th seed Everton, and at Stamford Bridge, Everton took an early lead 10 minutes in, and then they stunned the hosts with a 2-0 victory in the first game to go 1-0 up in the series, and in the second game they carried on that form with yet another 2-0 victory, and now Everton were 2-0 up and now had 2 games at home versus Chelsea, who are on the ropes. And at home they delivered Iwobi there with an absolute banger, and Everton then won 2-0 yet again to make it 3-0 in the series, and Chelsea are 1 game away from going out, and that's exactly what happened. Probably the biggest shock here, Everton sweep Chelsea 4-0, insane stuff, and Everton are through to the quarters. I also forgot to mention as well, I did a couple of the transfers, not all of them, but I did a couple of them. Newcastle versus West Ham was the next game, 8th versus 9th. This should be a very close game, and it was a 0-0 in the first game. It got sent to penalties, which was a shootout that went on for a very long time, but Kurt Zouma missed the only penalty to give Newcastle the lead in the series. In game 2, Joel Linton smashed it home to make it 1-0, and then Alexander Isak doubled the score, giving Newcastle a 2-0 lead in the series. But in the next game, the only goal was found through West Ham, who made it 2-1. The next game was a big one for Newcastle, Alexander Isak with the goal, but West Ham fought back incredibly from 1-0 down, made it 2-1, and levelled up the series importantly. And now it's all to play for back at Newcastle. Miguel Almiron got the goal in game 5, but West Ham levelled it up yet again, and we went to another penalty shootout, which was one of the worst I've ever seen. Just miss after miss after miss. Literally nobody could score. Everybody kept missing. Finally someone scored in Cresswell, and Bullock then managed to convert his, but Emerson missed, and Newcastle took the lead 3-2 now in the series. Over back at the Olympic Park, they then got an amazing victory late on in the 90th minute. Denali gave them the win, and that sealed the win in the series to make it 4-2 to Newcastle, who go into the quarters. West Ham are knocked out. Okay, so that is our quarterfinals. Let's go into the first game. Manchester City versus Man United. What a game this is in the quarterfinals. United take the lead through Bruno Fernandes at the Etihad and get a 1-0 victory in game 1. In game 2, Marcus Rashford then gave them yet another early goal before Bruno Fernandes then doubled the lead, and United stun the number 1 seed. This game, Man City had chances, However, they did eventually find a breakthrough for a fantastic goal there. But late on in the 87th minute, a stunning overhead kick by Bruno Fernandes sent us to extra time, where Man City thought they won it in extra time with Bernardo Silva goal. But United showed incredible character. In the dying minutes, they snatched it to send it to penalties, and we went to a penalty shootout to decide this all-important one at Old Trafford. But it was in fact United who prevailed after Carl Walker missed his penalty, and they went 3-up in the series, just one win away now from sweeping the number 1 seed. But Man City were not going to go out without a fight. They grabbed a goal early on in the game for United though, tried to hit back, almost got it right at the death there, but Man City held on to get their first win of the series. In game 5, Man City, knowing they were one game away from elimination, fought hard for a goal. They pushed and pushed, but it was 0-0, and we went to yet another penalty shootout, where Man City, again, knew they needed to get a victory here. United at one win away from knocking out the number 1 seed, but they couldn't get it this time, and Man City all of a sudden is 3-2. Surely they couldn't pull off an incredible comeback. It's never been done before from 3-0 down. But Man United were attempting to make sure that didn't happen. They grabbed the lead in the 72nd minute, and that was ultimately the final goal of the game. United beat Man City. A little bit of a shock here, 4-2, and United are now into the semi-finals of the Premier League playoffs. Arsenal vs Aston Villa is up next now. So Arsenal, the number 2 seed, were sent to penalties after a 0-0 in the first game between the two sides. Went to yet another penalty shootout. Martinelli with the winner though, and Arsenal took the 1-0 lead in the first game. In game 2 there were some goals. Gabriel Jesus with a lovely finish, and then Odegaard doubled the lead to give them a 2-0 victory and a 2-0 lead in the series. In game 3 we were sent to yet another 0-0 and another penalty shootout between the two sides. This time Arsenal did not prevail, and Aston Villa managed to win it. So they made it 2-1, and in game 4, Aston Villa came out firing Ollie Watkins with a chance there, which he missed, and he was punished because Arsenal came down the other end and they scored. Declan Rice with the goal, the only goal, and Arsenal now 3-1 up in the series, 1 win away from a victory. But it wasn't going to be that easy. John McGinn gave them a victory at the Emirates to make it 3-2 now, and Villa were fighting back heavily in this tie. They almost grabbed a goal there, but they couldn't quite get it. They kept on pushing, and they did eventually get their goal, and then they levelled up to make it 2-0 and levelled up the series to make it 3-3 and force another game 7 for Arsenal. But with their experience in the last game 7, Arsenal got yet another 1-0 victory, which sent them narrowly to the semi-finals and knocked out Aston Villa. So Arsenal have been scraping it through, but they have managed to get to the semi-finals after a game 7. And now we move on to the next quarterfinals, which is Liverpool vs Newcastle. So in game 1, Liverpool with the home advantage managed to get the victory with McAllister. So Liverpool took a very important lead in this series. Their home form was going to be crucial, as it was in the other series, and in game 2, yet again they managed to take Wilson got a chance early on, which unfortunately couldn't convert, but from the following up corner, they managed to head it in. Liverpool then had a chance here, which Nick Pope probably should have saved, but it crept in to make it 1-1, and it was a crazy game. Tonali went an absolute banger to make it 2-1, and this was all in the first half. They then made it 3-1, and Newcastle snatched a game to make it 3-1 and keep their hopes alive in this series. In Game 5, one game away from getting knocked down, Nick Pope with an absolute howler there, and then to wrap it up, they got the goal to make it 2-0, and Liverpool won 4-1 versus Newcastle. Liverpool fairly comfortably go into the semi-finals where they will play Manchester United. Okay, into the final quarterfinals to see who will play Arsenal. We have 10th seed Everton and 13th seed Wolves. Two teams who don't think many people would have expected to be in this position, but one of them will make the semi-finals. Everton had the home court advantage, and they did make it pay. A late winner at the death for them gives them a 1-0 victory in the series. In Game 2, Everton took the lead early on, but the Wolves fought back with a fantastic strike there to make it 1-1. Everton then scored an outrageous free kick to make it 2-1, and they thought that would be it, but Wolves had other ideas. An insane outside the boot goal there, and we went to a penalty shootout, and it was a pretty interesting penalty shootout, but in the end, Ashley Young missed his penalty, and Wolves took the lead to level up the series 1-1. Going back to the Molineux, where it was a 0-0, and we went to yet another penalty shootout. This time, again, it was a very, very close one. Both teams making saves, but Everton managed to convert their penalties and took the lead to make it 2-1 to them in the series. In the next game, Adrisa Gay got a red card, but 10 men Everton did not let that affect them. In fact, they went down the other end and managed to get a goal and take the lead, but Wolves levelled it up late on to make it 1-1 and went to yet another penalty shootout, the third one in a row. And this time there was a lot of misses in this penalty shootout, but in the end it was Everton who won again to make it 3-1 and put them in pole position. Just one win away now with the home court advantage, and I'm not lying, we went to another penalty shootout. Yeah, I know, it was 0-0. These two teams were just so closely separated, couldn't be separated. Wolves won this one though, and it was 3-2. Alright, next game, I promise you there was no penalty shootout. Everton did take the lead 1-0 in a massive goal, but Wolves levelled it up to make it 1-1, and then they pushed for that next goal. Both teams had chances, a big save there and an offside goal, but I'm sorry, I lied, it went to another penalty shootout. And in the penalty shootout, Everton, knowing they were just one win away from going through, Wolves needed one win here in the shootout to keep their hopes alive. Saar produced a save to make it 3-3 and send us to a Game 7, where at Goodison Park it was a winner took all the situation. And that's exactly what Wolves did, with the only goal of the game to make it 1-0, and Wolves with an incredible comeback really, 3-1 down in the series, win 4-3, and somehow, despite qualifying through the play-in, are now in the semi-finals of the Premier League tournament. Alright, let's go into our semi-finals. So we have Liverpool for 3 seed versus the 5 seed Man United. Liverpool took the lead in the first game. United fought back, they hit the post, but that was all they could do, and it was 1-0 Liverpool in the first game. second game, United came close yet again to taking the lead, and they were punished down the other end with Liverpool clinical and another 1-0 victory, and Liverpool now 2-0 up versus United. At Old Trafford, Liverpool almost took a lead there through a Man United error, but United, Bruno Fernandes, came up with a late goal, which was the only goal of the game, and gave United the victory. In the next game at Old Trafford, a very big one, United really knew they had to win. They managed to get a goal, and then Liverpool fought back. Mo Salah was denied though with a huge save by Onana. They kept pushing and pushing for the goals. Another chance there squandered, Onana with the save, and he held on to another 1-0 victory to level up the series at 2-2. Back at Anfield, United then, looking for the winner, they were denied by Alisson, but they came back and scored to take a 1-0 victory. Bruno Fernandes with the goal, but they were not done there. United then grabbed another goal. Marcus Rashford made it 2-0. Mo Salah got what was really a consolation, as United beat Liverpool at Anfield to go 3-2 up in the series. And in the final game, the next game, we went to a penalty shootout, and after a 0-0, it was a interesting penalty shootout, like the other one, a lot of misses, but Liverpool missed their first two, but United, Sancho stepped up and he scored, and that was it. Man United, despite being 2-0 down, fought back to win 4-2 in the series, and they got through to the semi-finals. They've knocked out Liverpool and Man City. Incredible stuff, and they are through, to the finals, aren't they? Okay, we now go into our next semi-final, Arsenal vs Wolves. Wolves, can they do the unthinkable? Can they make it to the final? Well, they started off very well, but Cunha gave them the lead, and it was a 1-0 victory for them. Actually, it wasn't a 1-0 victory, sorry. They almost made it 2. They kept clawing away. They were all over Arsenal. All over them. Arsenal did manage to get a chance though at the end, which was a huge save by Jose Sarr there. And they came yet again, Arsenal, Kai Havertz with the goal to make it 1-1. He levelled up the score and sent us to extra time, where there was even more drama in extra time. Lots of chances for both teams. There was a big chance there, but in the end, at the last kick of the game, there was one final chance. Popped up, an acrobatic strike by Hwang Hee-chan. Absolute scenes at the Emirates as Wolves take the lead in the semi-finals. A huge result for them. Arsenal in the next game knew they had to get a result. They couldn't afford to lose. It was another absolutely cracking game. This was one of my favourite series. So many chances, so many attacks from both teams. Vieira on his right hand side, call it back, another big save by Jose Sarr in extra time. And then from the resulting corner though, Kai Havertz came up with the goal, and that was a victory for Arsenal to make it 1-1. We now head to Molineux, where it's all to play for with the series tied, and Arsenal were looking to try and get the lead, and they did do that in fact, with a goal through Martin Odegaard, the captain. They then managed to double their lead through Thomas Partey, and that was game, set and match. Gabriel Jesus. And Arsenal come back to take a 2-1 victory in this series. In the next game, it was Thomas Partey there, who then gave them the lead 1-0 in this game at Molineux. Wolves did fight back though, but it wasn't enough. They missed their chances, and Arsenal now take a 3-1 lead going back to the Emirates, need just one more victory to go to the finals of the Premier League. But but it wasn't going to be that easy for them. Wolves were terrific, and I forgot to record it, but I got it on a replay here. Pablo Sarabia with the leap from the corner, headed it over Ramsdale with the only goal of the game to make it 1-0 win at the Emirates yet again for Wolves. And it is 3-2 now. Are we going to yet another Game 7 with Arsenal, or will they wrap it up at Molineux? Well, they were denied there, unfortunately for them. They came forward yet again, but this time it was put in the back of the net. Gabriel Jesus with the goal, or Thomas Partey, sorry, and that was that. The only goal of the game, 4-2 victory for Arsenal. You knock out Wolves, who can be very proud of themselves to get that far. And that sets up our final. The final of the Premier League playoffs is Arsenal versus Manchester United. It's the second seed Arsenal versus the number 5 seed in Man United. It's the best of 7 series like all the other games. Let's get into it. Arsenal have the home advantage. And in the first game, it was in fact United who won the game 1-0 for a fantastic Bruno Fernandes strike to take a 1-0 lead in the series. A big win at the Emirates for them. In the second game, Arsenal came agonisingly close there to winning, but they messed around with it at the back, and Bruno Fernandes yet again scored and punished them to make it 1-0. Thomas Partey then did level it up and send us to extra time though, making it 1-1. Or sorry, not extra time, because late on there was a chance for Marcus Rashford, who buried it to sink Arsenal hearts and give United a 2-0 victory. Now, heading back to Old Trafford, the series is in their hands. Arsenal knew they had to get a victory here, and well, that's exactly what they did. They started off on fire, getting a goal in the 4th minute, and then in the 30th minute doubling their lead to win the game 2-0 and get a crucial victory at Old Trafford to make it 2-1 now. And in the next game at Old Trafford, this was a really pivotal moment. If United won this, they would be in pole position. If Arsenal won this, well, they would be level, and Odegaard, with a moment of magic there, got the goal. United, though, came back. Anthony, he tried it, but Ramsdale produced a huge save, and that was that. Arsenal level up to make it 2-2, and now we are all to play for back at the Emirates in Game 5, where Ramsdale produced yet another big save. It was a very, very entertaining game. Another big save there by Aaron Ramsdale. Anthony came down the left hand side. United though, attack after attack, and eventually did manage to get their goal. Anthony Martial gave them the 1-0 victory, and United restore their lead to make it 3-2, and are now 1 game away from victory in the Premier League and Premier League champions. In the next game, Anthony Martial gave them the lead, made it 1-0 to Man United in the first half. Arsenal came agonisingly close there to a leveller. They kept fighting though, and Gabriel Jesus, with a cool finish, did level it up and send us to extra time. Oh sorry, not extra time again, because Aaron Ramsdale produced another fine save, but we did then get 2 penalties. We got to a penalty shootout in a massive game. Arsenal had to win this in order to stay alive, and that's exactly what they did. They levelled it up to make it 3-3, and in the final of the Premier League, we are going to a Game 7, a winner takes all, to decide who is the Premier League champions. You couldn't write it. It's essentially a final to decide who wins the playoffs. Well, yeah, the Premier League. And in the final, I guess, Game 7, Arsenal took the lead through Gabriel Jesus, who has been clutch in this series in the finals, potentially a finals MVP. Thomas Partey drove forward with the ball there, and Jesus got a brace in the Game 7. Arsenal were now in full control, 2-0 up in the Game 7. They came again in the second half, and it was another goal. Martin Odegaard made it 3 for Arsenal, who were cruising past United at this point, who had completely crumbled under the pressure. It was another goal. Declan Rice made it 4-0. An absolute bloodbath, and it didn't stop. In the 85th minute, the final goal, it was Thomas Partey who made it 5-0. A shocking battering by Arsenal, who come back after 2-0 down in the series to win 4-3, and Arsenal are your Premier League champions. There we go. So Arsenal are the Premier League champions. That is what would have happened if the Premier League had a playoffs. I don't know, did you guys enjoy this? Would you prefer this to the normal Premier League? Which series was your favourite in this? My personal favourite was probably Arsenal Luton. Let me know what your favourite was, and if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, go and subscribe. I'll see you in another video.